Hi, good afternoon. This is Sue Lottie from the East Madison Historical Association, and today we are dedicating our free lending library 24/7 that's open. And to do that dedication today, we are so enthralled to have Lynn Plourde coming to do a talk about her children's book and her career as a children's author, acclaimed by several national awards.
Thank you, Sue. I'm excited to be here. I used to live in Madison, grew up in Skowhegan, so this is like old home. And I will be reading a few of my books interactively for kids of all ages.
Okay, welcome to the little free library that has grown into a big little free library. And come on in and we'll take a look and see what we have here. The concept for this came from a meeting we had of our members, and we had been donated several, I think 25 boxes of books, and we were wondering what was the best thing to do with them. And one of our members came up with the idea of having a library. So we tossed the idea around for a year or so and went looking for a building that we could house it in. And my wife was looking online one day and came across a ad on, I don't know, one of the marketplace things for one of the Somerset Motor Lodge cabins that was for sale in Skowhegan. So we inquired about it. We found out what they were asking for a price, and to make a long story short, when they realized what we were wanting to do with it, they donated it to us. That was the McCabe family in Skowhegan, and the Bunno family, who has the equipment to move buildings and trailers and everything else under the sun, moved it up here for us for free, and I guess that's appropriate with a free library. And I think we've been open pretty much since last summer. The little quilt up above was made for us by Becky Cross Young now, as a kind of a housewarming gift when we started this place. We had a young lady, Kenzie, who's a summer resident on the lake last summer, and she volunteered as a community service thing. She was a high school student in California. She volunteered as a community service to organize the entire collection of books. And you can see the different genres are all sorted out, and she did an amazing job. And we owe her a big debt of gratitude as well. But this is kind of our latest endeavor with the Historical Association, is to have this free library. We're open 24/7. You know, come in middle of the night if you want. Turn on the light switch, look for a book, take a book, leave a book, keep a book, whatever you'd like. It has a growing clientele, I guess I could say, that folks are discovering it, and a lot of our summer residents around the lake use it quite extensively to find themselves some summer reading. Well, welcome to the East Madison Historical Association. We're in the midst of one of our major fundraising efforts with East Madison Days. Have a yard sale going on, a silent auction, people bringing in canned goods, you name it. It's a kind of a big day. We have folks here with a cotton candy machine. So it's kind of a celebration of what's going on in East Madison. The Historical Association over here was conceived back in probably the 1990s by Darcy Jackson, who was the prime mover of it, and we started out as a study group looking at East Madison history, and eventually grew. Came to a point we had amassed a collection so large that Darcy's husband felt he was going to have to move out of his house because of all the things that Darcy had collected. So we got together and built this building you see behind me, courtesy of the Jackson family. And then we've grown from there. We incorporated as a nonprofit in 2010. Wait till the truck passes. Incorporated in 2010 and have continued to grow since that time. We have probably 15 or 20 truly active members and maybe another 75 or 100 on the rolls. Just to give you some concept of what we do, we try to preserve the history and culture of the east side of Madison, taking in the area basically east of Route 201 to the Cornville line. Like I said, we've been fairly successful in accumulating a collection of historical items in this area. When Mr. Jackson died, maybe 3 years ago this fall, he willed us his collection of antique vehicles and tractors, which we now have housed separately. So, yeah, our association really owes a huge debt of gratitude to Alfred and Darcy Jackson for our very existence, and we're trying to maintain their enthusiasm for this area. This is part of our collection here. Alfred Jackson restored this along with 4 other Model T Fords, and we have this for display purposes and just for anyone who is a gearhead. Everything works on it. It's running. We could take it off the trailer, put some gas in it, and drive it down the road. It's, you know, that level of operation. This one's a 1927 Model T Coupe. The last year that Model Ts were made, and ended an era of Model Ts that ran from 1912, I think, right up through that time period. And like I said, we have 4 others of different styles down in there. Now in the what we call our history house, the main room, where we have some of our, I guess you'd call them historical treasures accumulated. I apologize a little bit for the disorganization. We're right in the middle of a yard sale, so some stuff in here doesn't normally stay in here, but virtually everything you see in there has been donated to the association by folks around town, and it's an interesting kind of eclectic collection of stuff that spent its life in East Madison. There's tools, there's antique appliances. We have a number of things that were manufactured in East Madison here. There used to be a couple of businesses in town back in the 1800s that produced caulks for loggers' boots and river drivers' boots, the metal caulks that kept them from slipping off logs. We have a pair of skates that was produced in town. On the top shelf here, we have a number of kind of like a set of bells that would have gone around a horse's girth, set of ice tongs, someone's fingerprints and a brick. Curiosity. We have a number of 19th century maps, Somerset County, state of Maine. We even have a wall map of Skowhegan. Not really East Madison, but it's where everyone from East Madison went to shop, because it was a lot closer than going into Madison. In the bottom shelf we have a number of things. We get some ink wells, cooking utensils, meat grinders, a flip-flop antique electric toaster, a little gadget that goes on top of a jar to churn butter, antique fry pans, kind of a range of stuff. These cases, by the way, came out of the 4-H building at the Skowhegan Fairgrounds that they were about to dispose of, and we salvaged them. In the corner we have some winter snow skis, and on the wall there's an early metal flying saucer, I guess we used to call them. A couple of sleds. We have this lady was from town here, grew up around this area. She lived to be 107 and passed away a number of years ago, but was an active member of our society into our 100th years. We have a Victrola.
What's some stuff? Watch out. Out of your way. Good. And we can bring the other one over too.
Oh, maybe up in that corner in the shade. Yeah, I'm gonna bring these little kids' chairs down just because someone I want to sit in them. Where's the other one going? Is the other one coming over? One coming over. There's another one coming. Another tent. Barbara. I heard your name. You're gonna be here. You can sit here, Paul.
You want to sit here in the sun?
You don't want to be in the sun.
I heard.
She doesn't want to sit in the chair.
You're a dynamo still. How did that happen?
Chair for you.
Is that my husband's hormones?
Not for you, Mary. This is your great
Yes,
one,
good
right?
to see you. Good to see you.
And it's
Yeah,
probably
so
a small
maybe-
chair for you, but whatever.
We're going to bring another.
Another tent over. Where's the other tent going? Is it going to be that
So what do you
direction?
think?
It's not going to be in the car, right? Can you bring more? Is it going to be on this side?
Maybe we could put it on this side.
Official welcomer. I would love to welcome you to the official opening of the Lending Library and recognize a few people that have helped make that happen. So first of all, I would like to thank Mr. and Mrs. McCabe, who donated the building when they moved to Skowhegan, and then to Barbara Gillis and her family for trucking the building to East Madison, for the concept of the idea to Nancy Baxter, who, if you'd been in the history building, the little garage was what we really thought was going to be our lending library at the beginning, and now we have this gorgeous building, which used to be part of the Somerset Motor Lodge from Skowhegan. And so Nancy put together a poster board that shows what it looked like when it was in Skowhegan, and then its transformation here to a lending library. So it was whitewashing and building shelves and sorting books, and it took us all last summer to get things sorted. And then we had Tony Tallman, who built the ramp, built the railings for the ramp, so it was all handicap accessible. So we are truly celebrating the community that got this to where we are today. So, as a thank you to the McCabe's, we would like to gift you this basket. It's all Maine products, and the bag was sewn by Debbie Boardman, who's here somewhere. So the thank you for that. Thank you very much. And just so you know, because it's a new concept thing. Yes, we have lots of teacups. So someone suggested that we make them into bird feeders. So there's a teacup glued together, and there's a bird seed for your bird feeder. So thank you. I wanted to make that, put that together. That's
Wonderful. I'm a knitter. I will make good use of it.
Yes.
Oh, yay! Yay!
And then as a thank you to Lynn, who I taught with Paul for years, and I think Paul and I started to care back the same year. And this is another gift bag for you with some more
you.
products, and you also have a bird feeder. And
Thank
Debbie made that
you.
too. So.
That's
And you have the
very
East Madison
sweet.
cookbook, so I don't know if you just bought one. I
love
almost
old
said
cookbooks.
you bought the cookbook, and I thought, oh no, it's in the bag. But now you have one to give
you.
away.
Well, my daughter-in-law's right across the street.
Yes, yes. Okay, thank you very much for coming.
Well, what about Sue and Eric Lottie? Those names haven't been mentioned out there. They're timeless, the end, the effort, you're not effortless, what's the word?
Hey, it's worth every minute.
Tireless effort.
I
There we
agree.
go. Thank you so much.
All right, we ready to go?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I think I'm sneaking here, which may mess you up, and you can adjust.
You want a chair?
I'll sit here for a minute. Won't last long. My name's Lynn Plourde, and I grew up in Skowhegan. We lived in Madison for a while, Outer Purple Avenue. We lived in Anson till the flood of '87.
Yeah.
And then we ended up moving to, that's when we moved to Outer Purple Avenue in Madison, and we live in Winthrop now. My mom is 92. She's still in Skowhegan. So this area always will be home. I am going to share a few books. I've had 42 published now, 13 years of rejections, so, but that's okay. And I'm going to share a few books. We've put all the weight of the world on these two kids. So you guys are all going to pretend you're kids so that you can help with the books, because I like to share them interactively. And then if you share them with other littles, you can say, oh, this is how the author showed me that she would share the books. So I didn't pack all of them. I packed some. And
42. I didn't realize there were 42.
I've had what?
42. I didn't realize
42 published, yeah. I want to, some have been around for a while, like Pigs in the Mud in the Middle of the Rug, which was the first one that was ever published in 1997. Another oldie but goldie is Wild Child. That one's been around for a while. I wanted in particular to mention, in case some of you haven't seen on social media, Don Fender was a friend of mine. We did Lost Trail, 9 Days Alone in the Wilderness, which is a graphic novel version of his story that was lost on a mountain in Maine. Last Saturday, so a week and a day ago, we got to see the premiere of the movie Lost on a Mountain in Maine. It's going to be released nationally beginning of November. So keep your eyes open for that. And what's cool is they have a lot of old footage they found where they talked to Dawn's mother. I had never seen footage of her. And they have actors and they piece all those parts together, which is fascinating. So I want to mention that. And I'm not going to read from it, but I have Maxie's Secrets, which is the only chapter book, set here in Maine about a dog that is deaf, and there's a girl that's blind. I was a speech therapist for 21 years, so that was my background. And I am working now, finishing my next chapter book, which I have to have to the editor within the next week. And that one is The Bionic Boy. And it will come out next September of 2025. You have to do the work that far ahead. And it's a boy who's born without hands. So, and he has a sister, he's adopted. He has a sister who has Down syndrome. So it's near and dear to my heart because we talk about we want diverse books and all kinds of kids to see themselves in books. I don't know if part of our diversity has included kids with disabilities, challenges, handicaps as much as we should have. And so I figured with my background in special ed, that's a good thing for me to work on in the time I keep writing. All right, we are going to get started with board books, B-O-A-R-D. You know, the ones you could chew on, bite on when you were little. And we're going to do them with sign language. So I'm going to teach you the sign language to go with it. And one of my first jobs as a speech therapist was working with a class of kids out in Newport, Maine, and it was a class of kids who were deaf. So, all right, we're going to do go, grandma, go. How many grandparents in this space? Right. Okay. And I like to tell kids when I share this, there's lots of names for grandmas. Not just grandma, what's some other names? What are some of you guys called?
Nanny.
Grammy, Nanny,
Mim.
Mimi, Mem. Yeah. So, we're going to sign it like grandma, even though we can use different names. We're going to do the sign for go. So everybody do go. And grandma, hand out by your chin, grandma. So go, grandma, go. And every time that comes up in here, you guys will help me with the go, grandma, go. Sign language is a wonderful language. I encourage everybody to learn sign language because people will feel like they're learning a new language, and people who are deaf that use sign language will feel like you're including them. My name's on the book, because I'm the author. The illustrator is Sophie Beer. She lives in Australia. Never met her before. Most of my illustrators I have not met before, and that surprises people. I create the work at my house where I live. They create their art wherever they live. I do hope she invites me to her house sometime, though. Go, Grandma, go. Beep, bop, don't stop. Everybody help me. Read it and sign it. Go, Grandma, go. Whoosh, glide, slippery slide. Go, Grandma, go. That's a slide with the tickle belly kind that you guys will see at the Skowhegan Fair in a few weeks. Twist and twirl, give me a whirl. Go, Grandma, go. Okay, test. What's that old-fashioned thing called?
I have one. That's a newer version.
A newer version.
Like it's a record player.
A record player. When I go in schools, kids are like, I don't know what that is. Kites fly way up high. Go, Grandma, go. Pluck and plop, taste and shop. Go, Grandma, go. Down the hill, don't spill. Go, Grandma, go. I hope they don't crash into the bunny. Grandma lost her hat. I hope she goes to Beth and gets it. Kick, splash, waves crash. Go, Grandma, go. I'm not as cool as that, Grandma. I don't use a surfboard. How many of you guys do? How many grandparents here have surfed before? All right. That doesn't surprise me. Climb high, touch the sky. Go, Grandma, go. I did skydive before, so that counts, but no, it's not the same. Breezes blow to and fro. Does that say go? Slow. Slow. All right, slow. Hand out. Hand moves up slowly. Slow, Grandma, slow. Let's do it together. Slow, Grandma, slow. All right. Now, we can't leave out the grandpas. What are the names for grandpas?
Grampy.
Others?
Pip.
Gramps.
I grew up with a Pepe. My husband's a Pop now to our grandson. All right. You guys know how to do the go sign, right? When you look at them, do you think it's the same author and illustrator? Definitely. You can tell a lot by looking at books if they seem like they're a good match in terms of the style of art. So Sophie Beer illustrated this. You know the sign for go. Anybody know the sign for grandpa?
Maybe the other hand?
That's a good guess. Let's back it up a little. Grandma, I showed you grandma. Guess what? This is the sign for mom. So mom, grandma. This is a sign for girl. Finger down the side of the chin. All the female signs, because signs have been around for hundreds of years, that was the female position because in the olden days girls wore bonnets and they tied with a ribbon around their chin. So that's why mom, grandma, girl are all there. If this is the female position, This is the male position. Mhm. So the sign for boy is like a cap, but not baseball caps like we have now, like Oliver Twist type caps. So that's the sign for boy. And then if you knew this was the sign for mother, what's the sign for father, everybody? Father, because it's up in the male position, M-A-L-E. So if this was grandma, what is grandpa? So it's like father once removed. So when you think of it that way, it makes sense. So that's the cool thing about sign language. Once you learn a few signs, you can learn so many. Animals are the easiest ones. What animal's this?
Elephant.
Elephant. What animal's this?
Cat.
Yeah, a little bit harder. What animal's this?
Horse.
Nope, you're calling to them.
Dog.
Dog, yep. Easy.
Monkey.
Monkey, yeah. So look up some animal signs. You'll learn a whole bunch of those, so they make sense. All right. Go, Grandpa, go. Zigzag, zip, zoom. Go, Grandpa, go. How many of you guys have ridden on a bicycle where you didn't have to do the pedaling? You were in one of those seats. Did you guys get to when you were little? No? I thought just old people like me didn't get to. Pass flowers, lawn showers. Go, Grandpa, go. Under trees, buzzing bees. Go, Grandpa, go. Honk, beep, busy street. Go, Grandpa, go. Push, wee, 1, 2, 3. Go, Grandpa, go. This is the best audience I've ever had. We need to put that on TV. Dash and dart, fill the cart. Go, Grandpa, go. All right, who here has ridden in a grocery cart? You guys have? How come I never got to ride in a grocery cart? You have? Come on. I was always the pusher. Puddle stomp, muddy romp. Go, Grandpa, go. This grandpa has what kind of grandkids? They look just alike. Twins. Night sky, fly high. Go, Grandpa, go. This is one of my favorite illustrations. This grandpa is pulling his granddaughter, who's in a wheelchair. I don't know why. And he made it look like a rocket ship. And it's like it's blasting off with fire in the back. Rock and hum, day is done. Whoa, Grandpa, whoa. Whoa, Grandpa, whoa. Let's do it together. Whoa, Grandpa, whoa. Whoa. They're not sleeping like the grandmother and the grandkid in the hammock. They're in a rocking chair, not a purple chair, but a rocking chair.
We could have brought you out the rocking chair.
They're out of luck with a purple chair. All right, the next one I'd like to read with you is, and we've got it, I think you guys will be able to see it, How to Talk Monster. This is one of the newer ones. And I wrote it, Mike Lowry illustrated it, and it is graphic novel format. I didn't know he was going to do that because I wrote it like a regular story. He said, she said, and he's like, we can get rid of all the he said, she said parts, and we can put them in speech bubbles. It's like, that's a great idea. So this one is in graphic novel format. It has a foreign language, you know, sign language. Now we're going to learn monster language. Inside title page. And what I love with graphic novels, do you guys read graphic novels? How many here have read graphic novels? I really like graphic novels. So much of the story is told in the illustrations. And if it's a graphic novel picture book, in any picture book, you have to start paying attention when you get the title page. When you get like a dedication and copyright page, they tell the information. All right. The kid was reading the monster book. And he's got an exclamation point. It's like, whoa. He sees the picture of the monsters and he throws it into the trash. He checks under his bed and in his closet. And then he looks out his window and there's a monster with how many eyes? 3 eyes? Mom, Dad! And he's describing the monster. Dad says, shh, it's okay. Mom says, I'll keep that monster away from you. And she goes outside and puts up a sign that says, no monsters allowed. Phew, the kid can sleep. Little monster, that's little boy. He doesn't have a name in the story, he's just little boy. Little monster has question marks. He doesn't know how to read English. What does that sign say? So he goes to the window and says, Goopsie Googie, which means peekaboo. Let's say it in monster language. Goopsie Googie. Ah, a monster! Where? There. He points up the window. Dad says, I don't see anything. Must be your imagination playing tricks on you. But he didn't look under the window, where little monster is looking up with his 3 eyes. Get some sleep, little guy. Creak! Which means the window is opening. Zork, zork. That means honk, honk in monster language. Everybody give your own nose a zork, zork. Everybody.
Zork,
Zork, zork. Ah, the monster touched me! Now, if you pay attention to the illustrations, a little boy is running away. But we see a bump in the bed. So who's that? The little monster, exactly. And we see the bump in the bed. A little boy's running in his closet. The parents come in and pat the bump. No, it's just a bad dream from that book. We're going to bed. You should get some sleep, too. The boy in the closet is quiet, too quiet. Maybe that monster is gone. Zoki, which means surprise. All right, let's put our heads upside down and say Zoki. Zoki! Go away, leave me alone. Guess I showed that monster. Hey, that's mine. Get off now. He's riding the boy's bike. Zowzy bop? He means want to turn in monster language. He didn't pay attention. He was looking back and he hits a rock. Crash! The boy says, oh no, my bike! Gibble means sorry in monster language. Say it like you mean it. Gibble. You hurt my bike, you mean monster. Gibble, blop, blop. Means sorry. Sniff, sniff. Don't cry, it's not that bad. Whoa. Are you hurt? You can see the little marks on you that hint at maybe the little monster got hurt. Sit! Stay! Don't move! Growly oop dooper, however you say it! Little boy runs into the house and he comes up with something. What's that he's coming up with?
First aid.
First aid kit, a medical kit. You guys are right. Better. Got. Thank you. Yes, thank you. And look, he puts bandages on little monster. Zegu. That means better. Little monster put bandages on the bike. Yes, thank you. Climb on. Wee, wee. It's the first time they've spoken the same language in the book. Gooby. That's wee in monster language. On the swing. Pretend you're in a swing. Gooby! Gooby! They go in the house right past the no monster allowed sign. And what are they having in the kitchen? A snack, probably a midnight snack, because it was night. Then they're back out in the boys' treehouse. And look, little boy is playing with little monsters. Snuggly, cuddly, and action figure. And little monster is playing with little boy's action figure. And then it's Zuzzer. Little boy says Zuzzer, and little monster says the English word, wow. They're watching the sun rise because they stayed up all night. little monster looks at his watch. And he gives the little boy a hug. He waves by. The little boy waves by. And what does this light bulb mean? That happens to me sometimes. A light bulb goes off. I have a idea, exactly. He goes in the house and he comes out with a paint and paintbrush. And he crosses out the no. So now it doesn't say no monsters allowed, it says monsters allowed. The little boy, I think, got the book out of the trash and he cuddles up at bedtime with the monster book. And it says later, Mom and Dad discover the kitchen. Melting ice cream and everything. And then it says the end, and look, the little boy is reading a book, and it says, can you see it from there? Yeah, how to talk human. So he's trying to learn how to talk human. And then the back of the book has a glossary. It has all the monster words and what they mean in the English language. So you don't have to worry about memorizing it. You can check that out. The illustrator, Mike Lowry, did a cool picture. I sent an author photo, and look, he has little monster honking my nose. And then that's Mike Lowry, the illustrator, he has a little monster right behind him with the light bulb idea. It's like he's illustrating, oh, you've got an idea. So this book surprised me in many ways, even though I wrote it, and it's like, oh, it's going to be fun to have another language. Because it ended up being a graphic novel format, I think it worked really well. That's cool. All right, let's vote. I'll read one more book, and one of the oldies. We can either do Pigs in the Mud in the Middle of the Rug, or Wild Child. How many want Pigs in the Mud in the Middle of the Rug? And how many want Wild Child? All right, we're going to do Pigs in the Mud in the Middle of the Rug. There's a part for all of you. It has a chorus. It goes like this. Oh no. Everybody do that with me. Oh no. Won't do. Shake your head no like you mean it. Won't do. Got a shoe. It means shoe, get away. Not this kind of shoe, right? Got a shoe. But who? Let's practice it all together. Oh no. Won't do. Got a shoe. But who? Every time that comes up in the story, that will be your part. I'm the author, Lynn Plourde. John Schoner is the illustrator. Never got to meet him. He illustrated Owl Moon, which won a Caldecott Medal. Julie the Wolf's Gentle Ben, who is a very famous illustrator. In my dining room, for a birthday of mine, Paul tried to see if he could buy some art from here, from John Schoner. And John's like, nope, I don't sell that. But he mailed a bunch of the sort of sketches that he wrote, which is delightful. And some of them look like finished art. They just end up the way they were in the book, which was great. So, and he passed away a number of years ago. So, the first book signing I ever did, I told you I had those 13 years of rejections, was at Mr. Paperback in Skowhegan. I miss them. Me too. And it was March 1st, and so many people showed up, which was delightful because I'd worked in schools in the area and I knew a lot of people who'd grown up. And somebody came up, and it wasn't even I knew, and they said, oh, you did this signing because it's National Pig Day. I said, really? So March 1st is National Pig Day. So it was meant to be that I was autographing books on March 1st at Mr. Paperback in Skowhegan for my pig book. All right. Pigs in the Mud in the Middle of the Rug. They're going for a ride, like in one of your cars, right? Model T Ford. They stop and pick up Grandma. And where do you think they're going? What she's carrying?
Strawberry picking.
Going what?
Strawberry.
Strawberry picking, maybe.
Potluck.
What?
Potluck.
Potluck? Oh, that's a good idea. That was boring. I always thought of picnic. It had rained. It had poured. Now a Model T Ford was stopped in the rut by some pigs in the mud. Pigs in the rut, Grandma said. Your part. Oh, no. won't do. Got a shoe, but who? I'll shoe, that's who, brother said. And he shooed and he squealed and he rutted and he reeled, but the pigs didn't budge, not a tiny little smudge. Hands in the rud, Grandma said. Oh no, won't do. Got a shoe, but who? I'll shoe, that's who, Sister said. And she shooed and she clucked and she squawked and she plucked, but the hens didn't scatter, not a tiny little smatter. Sheep in the rud, Grandma said. Oh no, won't do. Got a shoe, but who? I'll shoe, that's who, Mama said. And she shooed and she jeered and she baaed and she sheared, but the sheep didn't shuffle, not a tiny little schmuffle. Bulls in the rud, Grandma said. Oh no, won't do. Got a shoe, but who? I'll shoe, that's who, Papa said. And he shooed and he tussled and he snorted and he rustled, but the bulls didn't charge, not a tiny little smarge. Pigs, let me hear all your pig noises. Hens, hen noises. Sheep. Bulls. Marilyn, you're the farm lady. How was it? Do the bull sound first. It's like an angry cow, right? Yeah. All in the rud. Oh no, won't do. Got a shoe, but who? I wonder who. Ooh-wee, up to me, Grandma said. With her hands on her hips and a snarl on her lips. Show me your snarl on your lips, everybody. And her dander up, Grandma yelled. Everybody help me with the yelling part. Time for sup! Punch out from smarch, all to sup. At last, empty rod, but look in the mud. What is that? What? A human. Which human do you think is missing from this picture?
The dad?
He is over there.
Grandma.
The grandma, yeah. You know Grandma got run over by the reindeer? Grandma got run over by the farm animals. With her dress all rumpled and her bonnet all crumpled and muddy head to toe. Grandma said, time to go. The end. I'll show you something cool. Sadly, this book is out of print. It was in print for 25 years, but it's out of print. But John Schauner had a granddaughter named Emily. And on this page, it's in other places, but it's in cursive there. Can you guys see that? So if you look carefully, and a lot of illustrators hide little pictures of like cats, if they have a cat at their house or whatever, they hide them in there. So that's my bag of tricks. Does anybody have any questions?
How do you go about getting an illustrator? Does the publisher send one to you? Or?
I've never gotten an illustrator in the mail, but they do find the illustrator, unless you're going to self-publish.
In which case, you could.
You have to find the illustrator and you have to pay the illustrator. So if you write kids' books and you're by like Downey's Books, which is here in Maine, or by, like this one was done by Scholastic, Pigs in the Mud, they find the illustrator. And that's a misconception. A lot of people think if I write, I have to illustrate. I do stick figures I wouldn't illustrate, or they have to find an illustrator. Nope. They know hundreds of illustrators, and so they make a match.
Have you always been satisfied with who they send you?
I have been satisfied about 98.5% of the time.
Can you reject the illustrator?
What happens is, often they will say, we're thinking of these three possibilities.
Okay.
What do you think? And so I can say, oh, I lean this way more than that way. So, and you can't reject individual illustrations, but if you have a reason you disagree, because I get to see sketches, proofs along the way. So I didn't pack that book today. I have a book called Snow Day, and it's illustrated by Hideko Takahashi. She's from Japan. she had snow on like a third of the book. I'm like, no, I live in Maine. If it's a snow day, it's all day and maybe goes into the next day. So they added more snow. And actually Wild Child, which I love, Greg Couch's illustrations, and there were 3 other season books after that. Here's a case where I had a disagreement, and they did listen and they made the change. Wild Child is the season of fall. She doesn't want to go to bed. So she's personified as, she's a little girl, but she's the season. When they got to this part and the Wild Child wants a snack before bedtime, they had cooked apple pies. I'm like, no, 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 this is a nature book. It can't be cooked apple pies. Mother Earth doesn't go into a kitchen to cook. She gets all of her foods outside in nature. So what they did is they had the apples and the cores. And they do have pumpkins that are sliced. But so that's a case where I had a specific reason. And so they said, oh, yes, that makes sense. So they went ahead and changed it. So, any other questions?
So, do some authors do their own illustrations as well? Their own illustrations as
Yes,
well?
some do. I mean, you can think of people that have done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
And the only thing that I say there is you have to be as talented with. I tell people I make word pictures.
Yeah.
I don't make pictures with art, but I make word pictures. So you have to be as good with the writing as you are with the art.
And that might hurt getting a publisher if you have.
You have to be as good in both.
Yeah.
And then they will look at that. Because you guys know of people, like here in Maine, we have Chris Van Dusen, who does, sometimes he illustrates other people's, but he does his own too. We have Matt Tavares, who lives in Nagunquit, Maine, who he sometimes illustrates others, but he also does some of his own. But you know people like Jan Brett, Tommy DePaula, they have written and illustrated their own.
Yeah.
So, and they have their own thumbprint, fingerprint that they put on things. So I think it is harder breaking in to sort of convince somebody that, whoa, you really, stand out with both. And most illustrators I know, they start illustrating other people's words and stories. And then if they prove themselves, then they're like, oh, I have an idea for a story too. Can we do that? So, but I don't know of authors who say, oh, I think I'll start illustrating mine. So, and I mean, when you look at these books, I mean, Ben Bishop is from Portland, Maine, who did Lost Trail art. The styles are so different. So different. Unless you get to a series like the Go Grandma, Go Grandpa book. But the Wild Child ones, it's not easy for you to see. But the other season books that are on the back, Winter Wait, Spring Sprung, Summer's Vacation, you can tell by looking at those. It's Greg Couch, it's his style. Yeah, he did. So. If anybody is interested in creating kids' books, go to my website, lynnplourde.com, and you can email me from there, lynn@lynnplourde.com, it has it. And I have a letter of advice for people trying to break in, so I'm happy to send that to anybody.
So you need more competitors?
Yeah. retirement. And then the next chapter book I'm doing is like, it's been years. So it doesn't go fast. And my heart belongs to Maine. So the more Maine people that create, I'm like, yay, let's do that. Let's make a stamp on the world. And when you think of our art in Maine, not for kids, but for grown-ups, so many artists have chosen Maine because it inspires them. And so many kids' book creators have chosen Maine. I was honored this past spring to get the Katahdin Award from the Maine Library Association, which is a Lifetime Achievement Award. And I looked at the previous, so you've got Barbara Cooney wasn't alive, you had to be alive, but Robert McCloskey got it, and all these like names, big names got it, and I looked at the list, and there were like 3 of us from Maine, and the other 30-something chose Maine. So I feel blessed because Maine chose me. I mean, I was born in Dexter, I told you, I grew up in Skowhegan, live in Winthrop. So the more people we have create here, I think is wonderful. And I choose Maine subjects, like this moose, of course, you got in your hand there. Moose, black bears, seasons, mud season, because of the mud. So,
Snow day.
Snow Day, exactly. Maxie's Secret's set in Maine. The next one is set in Maine. bionic boy, the boy who was born without hands. And it's got a Travis Mills type character in it, because he's like, ooh, do I get prosthetics or not? Oh, am I the boy with no hands if I get prosthetics? It's like part of his identity. It's like who I am. So, and he goes to a talk by somebody like Travis Mills, which obviously I went to a talk by Travis Mills. So. Any other questions?
Have you had any backlash to any of your books?
I'm going to take that to the next level, Eric. Have any of my books been banned? No. Will the next one be banned? The boy and his sister are adopted by 2 gay dads. So does that mean it gets banned? I hope not, because
We'll all buy it.
well, and the reality, I call them like kids. He came from an orphanage on the other side of the world. In my mind, it was Ukraine, but they ended up deciding to change that just because the war's been going on so long. What will happen? But so many family, and so he doesn't know when his birthday was because he was left on the steps at the orphanage. But they have gotcha days. They know when it is their family chose them. So I know a lot of gotcha families that celebrate the gotcha day when they brought someone into their family. And so we need to celebrate those gotcha days. So. Any other questions? And we need to stand up to book banning. You don't have to read every book I write. I don't care. But I want books there for choices. And what I was saying is in terms of gotcha families, when I think of the gotcha families I know, more of those families are gay families. In many ways, because of the fact that biologically they're not going to have their own kids, or depends what method they look at, but they want kids in their family. So I know most of the families that I know are gotcha families, and they happen to be gay, male or female families. So, any other questions? Do you write stories?
No.
Do you illustrate?
Well,
You draw.
I draw.
You draw. How many of you here, even if you're retired, some of you are, you were told the only career you could choose as being an author or an illustrator, how many would choose author? I'm on that boat. Oh, we got some word people here. Okay, how many would choose illustrator? Would you choose one or the other, if that's the only one you could choose? And what would you choose, Ren?
I would probably do the one that draws.
You would choose, so you do the illustrator.
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 Depends
Sounds good.
on the type of story.
Well, and people that illustrate can create stories too. There's a wordless book, 'cause I love wordless books. I wrote one once. It hasn't gotten published.
But it's still there. The possibility exists.
My agent really liked it, and we sent it some places, but no. And I've seen people who is as an author and illustrator for a wordless book. It's like, I want that gig. But you still have to imagine the whole story. So, any other questions? All right, so
This young man is going to get that book.
I'm going to autograph
You're going
that.
to autograph that for him.
Yep.
That book was given to us in order to give it to a young person that came to the talk today, and you were the first one that came, so it's yours. It was donated by Barbara Arnold. She was an educator in this area as well, and has given us a lot of items. She's downsizing, and so she said most of the books already had Lynn's signature in them, so she said I found one that wasn't signed already, so that's why you've got that book.
And if any friends brought some of my books, I'm happy to autograph those. I know Sue has some I'm going to. And
we have some for the history house.
This will be my autographing chair. We're going to use this purple chair.
Okay, do you need a
I have a
board
pen
or
with
something, or you can use your book right now.
Yeah, I can use the back of the book. Okay. And if anybody's shy and has any other questions, feel free to come up and chat.
I'm going to move your chair into the shade because it's still, now you're still going to be in.
We'll wait for Don to get him here.
Thank you. Remind me of your name again. Dominic. How do I spell it?
D-O-M-I-N-I.
I see. Yeah. What grade are you going into? excited about that. Good. What school do you go to? Oh, you go to Solon. My husband was over there. He used to be, when I met him, he was teaching principal of Solon Elementary School. So that's the same
While
school,
she's
right?
doing that, and you're staying for autographing some stuff, otherwise the chairs go back. to the
Domin.
bar station, And then we'll announce the winners of the silent auction.
C. Gotcha.
So, the fun never ends.
Oh, there's a nice breeze under this part. There's hidden moves in the pictures. So you'll have to look for the hidden moves.
Thank you.
Do you want a picture of us together?
Yes.
Dominic, you want to sneak up here? And if you wait just a second, then I'll do
back
yours.
up
Come on up,
in
Dominic.
Okay.
All set? Okay. Nice meeting you, Dominic. All right. These are both yours? So W-R-N. Do you have to share with anybody or just yours?
So wild child. So my
For my nieces and nephews.
It's
even exceptions.
my brother and my sister are like actually grown ups now, but so this book is kind of a family heirloom.
Oh, it's gotten passed along.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, I had a round one. They're 28 and 24, and that was one of the ones we held on to. So when there was a round two,
So does everybody have the same last name? Should we do the such and such family, or that's not
you
the
can
case?
just no, we're not going to spell out that many last names. You can just send it to Ren.
Ren,
They won't be
okay.
offended.
I can say Ren and family, and then it will include all of them too. So, do you consider yourself a wild child?
Yes. I will answer for you. I love you, Red.
Those words were said with love.
They were.
Well, the message is long live the wild child in you. So. I love that the book has been around and shared that long. This, I think, was my second or third book. Moose, of course, was the second or third. I'm not sure what the order of those were because Pigs in the Mud was 1997. I think those were both 1999. So.
But you don't have a long list of the other books
I do have some postcards here if anybody would like an autograph, and I've got a list of all my books on there.
That'd be great.
I'll pull it out. All right, and so then we're going to declare this one's yours also, right? The winter one.
Sure.
What grade are you going into?
Well, you were in fourth, so what's the one you're going into next?
You're going to go into fifth. And what school? Or are you homeschooled?
Like just like
What town do you live in?
You're just blanking out because you're shy with Madison. He goes to Madison.
You live in Madison?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you go to Madison Elementary School? Or will that be the next?
It's
you
like
go to the junior high.
It's the Main Street Middle School.
Yeah.
they change what people go there since they had so many.
Well, they switched the buildings because they didn't have enough.
So is that
room.
one now grades, did you go there this year? Was that grades 4
So
through
I think
8?
it's
And then
I
you go to
think
the high
it's
school?
3 to 6 maybe.
Oh.
They consolidated. They just needed room.
So
in
didn't
the-
they move 7 and 8 up to the high school?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
they just did it. This is the first
So
year.
this was the first year they did it.
Is it the old school with the farmer's market and the playground?
Yeah.
In there?
Well, the old one on the other side was superintendent office. I don't know what that is now, right?
That on
Oh, both
Old-
of those closed. Old
Yeah.
Point and whatever the.
Things change. It's hard to keep up.
Well, and with changes with employment in Madison, Skowhegan, the schools are like the new school. I was pointing out to Paul when we were driving by because I did an author visit to Margaret Chase Smith, and so it's right in their parking lot, and it's huge. And it's like, but they're only allowed to build for the size of their population now. But with building a new school, they know they're going to get more people, so it'll be out of space before they start.
The Margaret Chase Smith.
The Margaret Chase Smith, because they're going to close Bloomfield and they're going to close
it's just gonna
North
be one
Elementary, and Canaan's keeping some kids, but not all their kids.
I live in Canaan.
You
We
live in
want to see
what?
our school open.
Uh,
I live in Canaan. We like to.
I think you're keeping
Keep it
some,
open.
but you're not keeping them all. I think probably you're keeping the youngest, like K through 2,
Maybe.
maybe.
Oh, so they
I hope it
shifted,
stays
they
open.
shifted, that's too bad, because Keenan's a good school.
I used to substitute.
She said she won't read